Good morning, sunshine.
The real world. Whoa! Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with free air. There's no second best, okay?
GM, breathe air. Trade of the day. Welcome. So today we have non-farm payroll and unemployment rate. So 12:30 p.m. UTC, when I am going to be going live for Casual Fridays, which I need to actually announce. I want to make sure you all get the announcement for it. Casual Fridays and live trading. In fact, live trading stream. What time would that be at? Because it's not long. It's 10:45, 11:45, 12:45. 2 hours. 2 hour countdown. Live at 12:30 p.m. UTC. I'll be breaking down and trading the employment data. All right. 2 hour minute live trading stream. Let's fucking go. Boom. So, GM. Now, back to trade of the day. Just wanted to get that out because I'm streaming earlier, so I wanted to make sure it was out there. Give you guys time to prepare. Nick asked a good question, which is very relevant, and I decided to make this the topic of trade of the day. What's interesting about trading on event days is the decision whether to trade or not. I believe it's too simplistic to say I don't trade on event days. After a certain amount of time, whether it's minutes or hours, the market tends to stabilize, presenting new trading opportunities and setups. Curious to know how long one typically needs to wait before considering new setups. What's the most common amount of time in minutes or hours that traders generally wait before the market's ready to trade again? So people have been replying to that and answering that. Very true. So first of all, if you say you don't trade on event days, that's completely fine, right? That's probably correct for most people, because events like non-farm payroll cause sudden volatility in the market. So let's go back to the August Friday move, which was non-farm payroll, was on the 3rd over here. Yeah, here it was, right? This was non-farm payrolls back in August, and you see what happened, right? Market had sudden sharp volatility and led to a big crash. Now you might look at that and think, wow, what a great opportunity to get short. And it is, if you have systems to trade it. But most people, or many people, aren't day traders. And so day trading is difficult enough without part-timing it, right? If you're like usually a swing trader and you decide to jump in and try and trade the fucking non-farm payrolls, you're probably going to get wrecked eventually. These are the most... So there is no light without dark. Everything has an equal and an opposite, right? So data days provide some of the greatest opportunities to trade, and because of that, they also carry with them the highest volatility and risk. So you can make more money as a day trader on a data day like this than you can on any other day, but also you can get yourself absolutely carried out if you're not careful, right? There is no light without dark, like I said. So first, it's fine to not trade data days if that's one of your rules. Second, if you want to trade them, trade after it, not before. So go in here. You see on the 1 minute chart, this is, where is it? Friday 2nd of August. It would have been 12:30. Yeah, it was over here. This was the data release, 12:30. So you get this sudden spike. You get price chopping and chopping and chopping. And at this point, because it has a wild spike up, spike down, when it's here, people don't know what to do. They're like, oh, I'm going to bet it to go lower. Right? And this is like where you can really get yourself chopped up. You're like, short it, and then it bounces up. Shit, long it, and then short it. Then it comes up, and you're like, No, it's not going to break out. Say it's going to go lower short, and then you're short and you squeeze, and you get squeezed. Like people get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. And eventually you give up on the shorts. And then what happens? That. So you have to throw all preconceived ideas out the window if you're trading data. Which means I don't give a shit if the market's supposed to be bullish or bearish based on the news. Just trade what's in front of you. Now, what Nick said was, how do you, like, what do you guys do? Do you wait minutes or hours after the release? So there's the release. What do you do? Well, today on the live stream, I'm going to show you what I do exactly. But the main thing is, you should test it. So one way of doing this could be take the data release level until the end of the session, the New York session, which closes at 8 p.m. UTC, over here, and go and study many instances of different economic data, where it's CPI, the inflation number, non-farm payrolls, and all of that. And then you look at this. Or you could draw it to the end of the day, to midnight, but let's draw it through the New York session. And then look at it and break it into quadrants. So where does the biggest move come? This is the single biggest move within that whole section, right? That's where the majority of that nice move happens. And where is that? That is between 144 and 323. So you calculate that up, that's an hour and 39 minutes. So the best trade happens within about 20% of the entire quarter of the move, maybe. 25% of the entire session has that best move. It also skews towards the start, right? It skews towards this side, which makes sense. You have the data release, you have the market moves up, then we have New York session begins at 1:30, and then you get the move down. And then the rest of the session is just kind of spent consolidating. And as you go through data days, you'll see this is very common. You tend to get some clustering at the very start, then you have a move, and then you have the main move. Sometimes that's just in the one direction. It doesn't always go up and then down. It doesn't always go down and then up. Sometimes it does just move like this and then go straight down. But in general, if you're looking to wait a certain amount of time, you can wait, in my experience, you can wait an hour easily and still probably be fine. Sometimes you'll miss the majority of the move, but quite often it's like this. You'll have the news and it'll come out and then we'll wait until New York session, which is an hour later. So after the data release, the correct thing is to not panic. Don't panic sell, don't panic buy, don't FOMO in. But let your testing be your guide. Go and look at the last 100 CPI days and FOMC and NFP and GDP and all these data releases. And look at how does the market, where does the big move actually come? You'll find that it tends to come like this. If you take New York session, it tends to come in the first half. So you certainly don't want to wait 4 hours after the news comes out, right? That's obvious. You don't want to wait 4 hours. You probably want to wait somewhere between 15 minutes and an hour to start then looking at setups. And then use your price action, your momentum, whatever systems you're using. Yeah? And that's going to be what we're doing today. So see you today, 12 p.m. UTC, live, G fucking M, GM, GM.